As we step into 2025, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the past year and set intentional goals for the year ahead. My name's Riley, and I'm super happy to have you here. Let's take this time to pause, appreciate how far we've come, and create a vision for the life we want to live. So grab you a coffee or a tea, a pen, and a journal, and let's get dreaming. I want to start with some reflection on 2024. I've said it multiple times in recent videos, but 2024 was really a year of adjustment for me. And actually, I think 2024 was the first year in a while that I didn't really set any goals. My husband and I got married at the end of 2023. We were dealing with sickness for several weeks after that. And then, of course, we were thrust straight into the holidays. So I can only assume that I was just trying to get a handle on the moment when the new year rolled around, not looking ahead to the future and my goals. And I think that's okay. I think sometimes we go through seasons of achievement and success, and some seasons are meant for the adjustment and the change. So I'm looking forward to exiting that season though. It was a good year in a lot of ways. The highlight for me was definitely beginning life with my husband. Marriage has absolutely been everything I had dreamed it would be and more. And we've really had the ability this year to focus on our relationship and set a good foundation for the future. So I'm very grateful for that. I also started this YouTube channel, which is in and of itself a huge accomplishment for me. I've tried a couple of times over the years and never really followed through with it. And even this past year, it took me what seemed like forever to bite the bullet and just start. While I still have a lot of learning and growing to do, I'm super happy that I started when I did. I feel like it's a lot better to look back and see that my channel isn't where I want it to be yet, rather than it being non-existent. It has been such a great creative outlet and passion project for me, and I really look forward to working on that more this year. Something else that was really great about this past year was all the traveling I got to do. I really wanted to go new places and have new experiences, even if that was like a low budget weekend trip. And I think that I went on a total of 6 smaller weekend trips. And then we also had a week-long vacation, which was absolutely amazing. That's something that I have not gotten to do very often growing up. And so that was a very exciting thing for me. And I'm super grateful that that was an opportunity that I had this year. And that is definitely something that I will want to focus on this year as well. I think it's just something that it makes hard circumstances easier knowing you have something like that to look forward to, and that you have that time to rest and just enjoy life. Some areas that I would definitely like to see improvement on are my relationship with God, my friendships, my job, and my personal development. My relationship with God is something that has definitely had its ups and downs over the years, and it was definitely in more of a slump this year, especially since I went from a season in my life where I had pretty constant Christian community and Bible study to almost none. And on top of that, my husband and I started the year off kind of rocky with church. We were sick for so long, and then the holidays, and then going into the new year, we both knew we wanted to find our own church. And so we have been visiting, but we have not joined a church yet. So that has not been a constant this year, and it's definitely something that I want to improve on going into 2025. My friendships are another area that's been a struggle. I've had multiple friends also get married within the past year, and man, when all of a sudden we're all trying to figure out adulting and prioritizing a relationship and jobs, it's like, where's the time to spend together? It's not the same, and it's hard to figure out how that needs to look now that we're adults. It's hard to plan that quality time, and that is definitely something that I miss and have been lacking. I've also really struggled to stick to good habits and routines. I feel like I used to be a lot more disciplined, but while this year has been great in a lot of ways, it's also been pretty hard for me. From the outside, I'm sure my life does not look like a disaster or like I have a lot of things to drag me down. But especially in the later end of 2024, I've just felt kind of down. A lot of it, I think, has to do with my current job situation. If you're new here, I'm a criminal court clerk and juvenile case manager, and the job definitely takes a mental toll. I feel like that's a little bit dramatic, but honestly, it can be rough some days, and I definitely struggle coming home and finding motivation to do anything. I just think that's been something that's been worse for me than I realized. So I don't know what God has planned for me this year, and I definitely want to be where He's calling me to be, but I don't want to feel stuck somewhere that I'm miserable simply because it feels like the best or only option. So there are a lot of areas that I'm hoping for some improvement in 2025, but it hasn't been a bad year. Again, it's just been an adjustment period for me, and that's just naturally not going to be an easy thing. If any of you are in the same boat and feel like you're just having a hard time finding motivation to get on your feet again, even with all the excitement of the new year, you're not alone. But my hope and prayer for you is that 2025 is a fresh start for you, and that you can take steps, even if they're small ones, to get back on track with where you want to go and who you want to be. With that said, let's jump into planning for 2025. To start off our planning, I want to write a letter to myself from my future self. I've seen several creators do this, and I'm super excited to do it for the first time this year. Basically, you're writing as you in December of 2025, detailing all the ways you've grown and improved over the year to your past self. This is a helpful way to see areas you want to focus on in 2025. And personally, I think it's a good motivator. I love the idea of getting to the end of the year, reading this letter that I've written to myself, and seeing how it's all true of who I am and how far I've come. Okay, writing that letter was actually very cool. I would definitely recommend writing a letter like that if you feel so inclined to do so. Okay, moving on to goals for 2025. I wanted to show y'all the Notion template that I'm using. I did purchase it on Etsy. I've been using Notion for a few months now, and I really do want to learn all the tips and tricks with it eventually. But going into the new year, I'm definitely not there yet, and I wanted to get a template that already has everything that I need. So I did buy this one. Maybe by the end of next year, I'll have one of my own. We'll see. But if you're interested, I will have this one linked below. So in this template, there's a place for your vision, which includes some reflection on the past year, your areas of focus. And I've included on this page my overarching goals for 2025. And this is just some of my goals, which sounds kind of crazy, actually. I have a lot of them, but obviously don't want to share all of them. But here are some of the goals I have for 2025. Join a church and find an area to serve, as well as a small group. Be more consistent and intentional in my time with God. Go on more dates with my husband and have more quality time together. Read 6 books, focus on hobbies more, be more consistent in my habits and routines. This is a big one for me. Decorate the house. It always feels so bare after taking everything down after fall and Christmas. So I definitely want to focus on like some more year-round decor this year. Post consistently on YouTube, start using YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels more, make at least one creator friend. I feel like this can feel very isolating sometimes, and you can feel crazy if you don't have people that are in the same boat as you. So I would really like to find someone who's kind of at the same area of growth as me with YouTube. I just think that would be super helpful and fun. So stay in the Amazon affiliate program. I think I'm about halfway through my trial period. Definitely have not met the goals that I need to with that. So we'll see if I'm able to stay in that this year. Maintain a whole foods diet. We're about to start Mark Hyman's 10-day blood sugar solution detox again. I did do a video on that if you want to check it out. It's a great way to reset for 2025 as well. Lose 30 pounds. Have a good exercise regimen by the end of the year. I don't necessarily want to focus on that up front this year, but just by the end of the year, I would definitely like to kind of have a plan and get going with some kind of exercise routine again. Plan one self-care night per month, at least one, just at least a night that I don't have to worry about work stuff. I don't have to worry about YouTube, just a night that I can kind of have a mental break and not have to focus on anything else. Find a new job, hopefully sooner than later. Plan 4 weekend getaways and hang out with friends more often. So it's a bit of a lofty list, but I feel like these are all achievable goals. And I really want to push myself this year to focus on my own self-improvement and not just let life keep flying by and struggling to keep up with it. I also just really want to focus on consistency this year and learn to not be so hard on myself when I don't meet my goals or when I mess up. I'm really bad about that. And if you have that all or nothing mentality, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from with this. I want to learn that not doing a habit one day doesn't equal failure. It means, no, you give yourself grace, you take the rest you need, and the next day you get back up and try again. And I feel like even if I've achieved a fourth of these goals by the end of the year, that would be pretty great. And hopefully in the process, in the ones that I didn't achieve, it'll be a learning process for me and a way to practice and grow in not beating myself up and giving myself grace rather than feeling like I've failed because I didn't meet the goals I had set for myself. So we'll see. Got to be kinder to myself this year. Another part of this template is the goal planner. And I love that this is broken down by quarter. I want to try this year to do a quarterly check-in video to see where I'm at with my goals. I've already gone through and put in some quarter goals based on my overarching goals for 2025. And now I want to lay out my action plan for each of these, which is at the bottom of the page. To wrap up this video, I just wanted to quickly go over some of my goals again. Yes, I have my overarching 2025 goals, but I really want to focus on my goals for this quarter. I think it makes it a lot more realistic that way. And I've seen a lot of other people do this too. So since one of my areas of focus is my walk with God this year, I do want to see us join a church family in this first quarter. We may very well reach some of those other goals earlier, but that is definitely the one I want to focus on this first quarter. I have as one of my goals going on more dates. So for this quarter, I want to do an at-home date every month and an out date every month. I also just want to get better in general about our quality time together. So making sure that we plan that weekly. And one of the ways that we can do that is having a weekly check-in. We usually do this on Sundays at dinner time. We will talk about the week ahead, just kind of check in on where we're at, if there's anything that we haven't discussed in the week, anything that has hurt the other person. And I'm pretty sure we heard this in premarital counseling, but one of the things we do too is ask each other, what's a way that I can love you better this week? And sometimes that's just, hey, I'd appreciate this. Other times it's, well, you did this week and that wasn't it. So that's just something we like to do. As far as personal goals, I wanted to pick the books that I'm going to read for this quarter and pick a hobby to focus on. So the books I'm going to be reading are Atomic Habits. And again, my goal with that is to read it by like mid to end of February, and then also start on half of Defined by Alex and Stephen Kendrick. I've read that book before, but I really liked it, and I feel like it would be a good way to start this year as well. And then I really want to focus on guitar and singing at the beginning of this year. I have not picked up my guitar very frequently at all since getting married, and I really enjoy playing and singing, so I just want to find time to just be able to focus on that and not feel bad about it. As far as YouTube goes, this first quarter I really want to focus on just getting back into a consistent schedule, so posting once a week, really putting the effort into my videos and treating this more like a job, and so figuring out what that looks like for me outside of work and everything else that has to get done. And then also staying in the Amazon affiliate program. I think I have 3 months left. I want to pick one room in the house to kind of spruce up and start decorating. As far as health goes, I want us to complete the 10-day detox. In the first quarter, I would love to see losing 10 pounds, which I feel like could very well be attainable with the detox in there. So we'll see. And then also, like I said, planning a monthly self-care night. And then I want to try to plan one getaway in this first quarter. I have some financial goals as well. And then I would like to try to plan a hangout a month with a friend and probably with a sibling as well. And yes, to my siblings who are probably watching this, you can hold me to that. So yeah, that was rambly, but I really just wanted to go over those so that when we get ready to start the second quarter, we can go back over those and see where we're at. If you would like to, let me know in the comments what some of your goals for 2025 are, or if you like to make your goals quarterly as well, let me know what some of your goals are, and then we can check in together when the second quarter rolls around. I think that is going to wrap up this video. I hope that you've all had a great start to the new year. And again, I hope that even if you're feeling down or a lack of motivation, that you can take small steps to becoming who you want to be and living the life you want to live. Let's focus on consistency this year over perfection. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.